Good day, Amherstburg. It's myself, Laura D'Alessandro.
And it's Ron Giofu from the Rivertown Times, back on the airways of 107.9 CKBG The Berg for the Rivertown Times Week in Review.
It's warming up.
A little bit, yeah. It was nice and warm yesterday.
Right?
Went outside yesterday and didn't have to, just briefly without a coat, and I didn't pay for it in the end. It was just really nice.
Snow is melting, but it's that ugly phase where it's brown and
Oh, yeah,
gross,
exactly, yeah.
I think we're in for some more, though. It's supposed to get cold again, I think, right?
It's supposed to get cold, and next week, it's supposed to really warm up. So,
good stuff.
Week from today, I mean, obviously we're still a ways out, but the forecast could change, but it's supposed to get really warm next Wednesday, so cross our fingers.
I have a love-hate with that, though. It warms up and gets muddy, and I have a dog. So, yeah. It's all part of the process of getting us to summer, though, so we'll live through it, right?
Break out the hose and spray them down.
That's right. All right, turning our attention to the paper, a special service was held at a local church, marking a milestone of caring for people in a McGregor residential home.
St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church and Village Lodge in McGregor have had a partnership for the last 25 years, and the church has been sharing their ministry with the residential home residents. They marked that anniversary last Sunday morning at St. Andrew's with a wonderful service and a celebration afterward. It was quite the occasion. It was heartwarming to see everyone and just see the fellowship and everything that was shared between the residents and the church congregation members, and just a wonderful service. And it was just part of this overall service, and just recognizing the partnership and the ministry and the 25-year anniversary. And you can tell it's really had a lot of impact, not just on the people at Village Lodge, but the folks at St. Andrews as well. So just a great service overall, just really heartwarming. And I was glad to be a part of it. And that's our front page of this week's issue of the RTT. And just make sure that you pick it up. I consider it one of the more heartwarming stories I've done in a while, and just great to see.
Wow, 25 years, that's a long time. Congratulations to them and to the work and the services that they provide. That is such a wonderful need that we have so close to home, so that's great. Town Council met on Monday night. Not a huge agenda, but a few things were noteworthy, and one specifically that you got into the paper.
Yeah, the story we got in this week is about a report coming back to Council. They want to look at Council members providing their own reports, coming back from conferences, sharing what they learned. And so they want to get a report, get a policy eventually put in place on what that looks like, and what is exactly required of council members, whether it be a written report, a verbal report, or either or. I know they talked about that at Monday night's council meeting, and they're going to try to get something drafted so the council members know exactly what's expected of them, and share the knowledge, and share as Councillor Courtney would say, share the intel of what is happening, what they learned. And because not all council members go to these conferences. Like a couple of members went to Rona a couple weeks ago. That's the Rural Ontario Municipal Association Conference. I know Councillor MacArthur was there, and Councillor Allaire was there, and Councillor Allaire was there on behalf of IRCA, and she's the chair. Councillor MacArthur shared his what he learned at Roma. It's going to lead to a policy on what is expected of council members when they come back to a conference. They can let the public know, because the public's paying for it, right? It's all taxation dollars. What they learned on conferences and seminars paid for by the town of Amherstburg.
County Council met last week, and we sent freelance reporter Fred Groves out to that one. Big topic out there, and I think it's been for a lot of folks, is the green bin program. Yeah,
more information is coming back on that. Fred's got a story on page 5 of this week's RTT. We're going to find out exact costs. Right now, it's looking like, I think it's about $150 a year. But they're going to get a better, more precise breakdown of those costs when it comes back later this month. And Amherstburg's getting our green boxes. We're getting those later this year. They're already in the other county municipalities, and Amherstburg's one of the municipalities kind of in the second phase of the
fall,
program.
Right?
Something like that, yeah. We have more details, like I say, on page 5 in our county council coverage from Fred. So thanks, Fred, for that. And we got coverage on that on page 5. And on page 6, we have about the development charges being implemented by the county in 2028. So there's another couple years on that. Some people didn't feel that now was the time to be implementing them. Others feel it's a lost revenue stream by not implementing them. So we got full coverage of that on page 6 of this week's Rivertown Times. So you make sure you pick up the paper or view us online at rivertowntimes.com. Check it all out.
New principal has taken over the helm at North Star High School, and he took some time to sit down with you last week.
He did. Kyle Berard is a familiar face to the area. He is back in Amherstburg. That's where he started his career. He was a teacher for a number of years at General Amherst. He went into various administrative roles, a vice principal, a principal, and this is his latest stop as a principal. He came in from Kennedy, was his most recent stop, and he came over. Now he's at North Star. He replaces Melissa DeBruin. Melissa retired at the end of January, so we thank her for her service. She actually holds a unique place in history. She was the last principal at General Amherst and the first principal at North Star, but she's now enjoying the world of retirement. And so Kyle is in. Kyle actually took me around the school. He's quite proud of the place, and so he's excited to be there. He wants to get involved in the community, and he's getting his staff on board. And I mean, not to say they weren't on board already. I mean, they're doing a lot of community initiatives as it is. Kyle really wants to step that up and really get involved in the town. And like I say, he's has roots in the area. He's actually resides in Harrow, and so obviously this is a shorter commute for him than driving into the city to go to Kennedy every day. I mean, he enjoyed his stay at Kennedy, but he's now enjoying his first experiences at North Star. He just took over last week, and I'm sure you're going to be hearing more from him as he, like I say, branches out into the community and really gets involved.
The second annual Care Fair was held last Thursday at 340 Victoria Street South.
Windsor Police and several community partners were involved. I know ACS was out there. They had I've got a list of them in the paper this week, so make sure you check it out in the print edition and online. It's just basically to bring services to where residents are. Sometimes it's tough for residents to access certain services, and so they decided to bring the services to the residents. And the hope is that sometimes the police get called and about different issues, and maybe it's not necessarily a police matter, so they it's better handled by a social service agency or another group. And so they bring the groups out to Amherstburg and let local residents see what is out there, what is offered, and how these agencies can help some folks in the community. So that was last Thursday on Victoria Street South in one of the apartment buildings, 340 Victoria to be precise. And they had a decent crowd, and I'm sure they did this last year, and I'm sure they're going to try to do it annually. And we'll see where that goes, and full coverage in this week's RTT.
Just to recap a couple of events that were held last weekend, the indoor yard sale at the Park House. I was very stoked to go do that, and I went out there on Saturday and picked up some trinkets and treasures of crap I probably don't need. Yeah. But I was very excited to get Margaret Squire, the late Margaret Squire, her book, The Traveling Great Granny. So I've started reading that and just to hear some of Margaret's stories. But they had something for everybody. That you found a record.
Yeah, I didn't bring it in. I didn't end up buying it. I bought a book and some portable office shelving type units.
Something for everybody.
Exactly, yeah. So the Calypso album is still there.
Oh, your birthday's coming. I should go back.
Yeah, that's top of my list, to be honest with you. I'm sure you will go back. Cat, don't open the door.
Right.
But but to be serious, yeah, they're raising money for educational programming at the Park House and just to clear some space.
It was busy when I was there.
It was. I went a little bit later in the day and on Saturday, and it was a good crowd there as well. And it was 2 days and coverage in this week's Rivertown Times and on the web.
The AMA held their annual wood duck box making. Was that on the weekend? It was Saturday?
Last Sunday morning.
Last Sunday. And cute photo that Fred was able to capture of a little girl standing in one of the boxes. That's so sweet.
It was, yeah.
They do this every year, right, Ron?
They do, yeah. It's part of their conservation efforts, and they do a lot for kids at the AMA Sportsman's Club, and this is just another fine example. They did the air rifle turkey shoot a couple weeks ago, now they did this, and
they got a chicken wing dinner coming up on page 5.
Exactly. That's coming up Saturday, February 21st. So, again, like Laura said, check out the ad on page 5.
Turning our attention to sports, the Admirals season is wrapping up with only 2 games left in the regular season.
Both of this weekend, one on the road, one at home. And the Saturday games on the road, they're in Moortown to play the Flags, and they host the Walpole Island Wild on Sunday. I believe that's at 5:30. That game is actually a makeup game. They were snowed out. It was supposed to be a couple Sundays ago, but we had that big snowstorm, and the Wild couldn't make it down. But they're going to try to make it down this Sunday for a 5:30 face-off at the Libro. That'll be the regular season finale. The Admirals did play this past weekend. They lost 3-0 to the Sharks last Saturday night at the Libro. They played well. They just ran into a hot goalie, and their own goalie did play well. They also dropped a game last Friday night That game was in Tecumseh. They dropped a 1-goal game to the Blenheim Blades. It was a 4-3 final score in that one. And so they're still battling for a playoff positioning in the Stops Division in the Provincial Junior Hockey League. And like I say, they've only got 2 games left, so they got to make the most of them. So again, they're in Moortown Saturday night, but back home at the Libro Center Sunday evening, 5:30 face-off. Check it out.
What I think is kind of crazy about this, though, is everybody makes the playoffs the first round.
Yeah, it's
there's no cutoff, right?
Yeah, 8 teams in the division, and they all get in. So, so it's
everybody gets a spot.
Exactly, yeah, but it's just a matter of where you finish and where you're seated and who you play in the first round, because sometimes that can make a big difference.
Yeah, I could have a tough row to hoe, right? Lake Erie Minor Hockey Association held a select hockey tournament in memory of 2 local minor hockey legends.
Sandy Repko and the late Joe Lafron boys were remembered. Sandy, I believe, is from the Kingsville area, and a lot of people here in Amherstburg knew the late, great Joe Lafron boys, and they were remembered at a select tournament this past weekend in Harrow and in Amherstburg, and we got more information on page 12 of this week's RTT. Special thanks for Fred getting out there and covering that for us, and he's got all results and just everything, what it's all about, and 2 great people. Fortunately, I didn't really get to know Sandy very well, but got to know Joe a little bit. He got a Lifetime Achievement Award from the former Amherstburg Minor Hockey Association.
Was that just last year?
I believe it was just last year.
I think you're right.
Well deserved. Joe's a great guy.
Very nice man. Did a lot for us too.
Exactly. Yeah, we're glad to honor him in our own special way by covering this tournament. And so again, make sure you check it out in this week's RTT, and it's also on the web. So make sure you check it out. And again, thanks to both Sandy and Joe. They've both passed on, but we still thank them for their contributions to the local minor hockey scene and just their overall contributions to their communities.
North Star sports action is picking up again as second semester is well underway. You have girls volleyball and boys basketball. That's what's on the docket, and girls hockey.
Yes, and boys hockey. Boys hockey. Boys hockey. They're still going. They start their playoffs tomorrow, I believe, in Essex. The volleyball and basketball seasons there, it was one of those situations where we presented as updated stories as we could, but there are further updates since the paper went to press. The junior girls volleyball team, they opened the playoffs last night. They won in 3-1, so they won in 4 sets over the visiting Bell River Nobles. So they advance. They play tomorrow afternoon. They're out in Tecumseh. They do battle with LeSource. LeSource is the top seed in Wexa AA, and North Star is the 4 seed. And for the senior girls picked up a big playoff win last week. They were quite thrilled with that. They exacted a bit of revenge on Assumption. Assumption beat them here in Amherstburg in the regular season finale, but the 2 teams met again in the first round of the playoffs. That game is at Assumption, and North Star pulled that out in 3 straight sets.
Wow.
But the good news ended there, unfortunately, as the Wolves lost in 3 sets to Bell River. That game was in Bell River. The seniors were on the road. And unfortunately, they dropped that game. So their season is over, but the juniors continue. Unfortunately for boys basketball, both teams saw their season end last night. The seniors were out in Tecumseh to battle LeSource. They lost 65-45 to LeSource. And the juniors got off to a fast start against Catholic Central yesterday at home. Led 14-4 after a quarter. Catholic Central started dropping in threes, especially in the second and third quarters. Now, the Wolves got down, didn't give up. They battled back themselves and showed a lot of heart. Unfortunately, they fell 2 points short, 59-52 to the Comets. So Catholic Central advances, and the Wolves are eliminated. And so, unfortunately, the local North Star high school scene, there's a few teams left remaining. The girls hockey team, they start playoffs, I believe, next week. They had a wild game at the Libro on Monday. I couldn't get there just because I was tied up with the paper. They won 8-6.
Wow, that's a great game.
It was over Bell River. That was their regular season finale. They were busy last week. They lost to Essex 3-0. Essex is a strong team. Then the Wolves went out to Leamington. They battled Cardinal Carter, and they won that game. So the Wolves won that game. So they're riding a 2-game winning streak into the playoffs. So we'll see if they can keep that going.
And thanks for covering all that for us, Ron. I know it's keeps you busy.
It does.
I want to shout out my son, Dominic D'Alessandro Jr. He played in a basketball tournament on Friday. They beat out Stella Maris. It's kind of hard when you're an Amherstburg girl to see the Amherstburg team fall, but he plays for Sacred Heart Cardinals at LaSalle. They made it to the finals, and they lost in overtime, but it was a real barn burner. I give them all the credit in the world for trying a new sport, and to be there that day was a lot of fun. So it was held out at Villanova. So thanks to Villanova for hosting that for us. All right, looking to the weekend. This is your turn to turn your mic on, Terrence. We've been promoting it, and we're all waiting around. Friday Night Live.
Live from St. Andrews is Friday night. Oh, is that? I shouldn't say that. Maybe it's copyrighted. I don't know.
Copyrighted there.
Yep, Friday Night Live comes around again. We're all excited. There's a pretty good lineup. We got the Doc and the Rev, which is me and my wife.
Never heard of him.
Excellent performers.
Starting the night off right.
I do enjoy them, so just so you know. Well, I do enjoy you, I should say, and the lovely Reverend Shirley.
Yeah, our number one fan. We got Johnny Mack, of course, who organised it. The Remains, Phil Nitz, Monique Belanger, Joe and Rachel Perry. So it's Friday, February the 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. So there is a romantic theme. The ladies at the church have put up a beautiful backdrop. It's from 7 till 9 p.m. There are refreshments. If you don't know where the church is, it's St Andrew's Church, 129 Simcoe Street. And there's a whole new lighting system, new sound system. So everything's going to look good. It's going to sound really good. So please be there if you can.
It's free to attend, and donations are accepted. And as a photographer, I do appreciate the new lighting system, so thank you for that.
All about you, Ron?
Exactly.
All
yeah.
about you.
I just didn't want that to go unnoticed, and it is appreciated. Thank you for that. And I will be at Friday Night Live, and I encourage the rest of the community to join us.
And if you're at Friday Night Live, be sure to wish the Doc a happy birthday. Because, Terrence, it is your 29th birthday on Saturday.
Yeah, it just keeps coming around, that birthday. I love how that works.
This is the 29th, eh?
That's it.
For about, 30 years? Well, happy birthday, Terrence. We hope you have a chance to celebrate on Saturday, and we really appreciate all you do for us. If people only knew the work and the time that Terrence puts into producing this show, you would be amazed.
He does. He makes us sound a lot better than what we really are. And speaking of Saturday, the Doc Morris Show every Saturday at 12 here on CKBG 107.9 The Berg.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the plug, Ron.
So make sure you tune in.
That's right.
This is a Family Day weekend, so Monday is a holiday for most people. We are going to be closed. The office at the RTT will be closed. So the deadline's been pushed up for anybody looking to advertise to Thursday at 4 p.m. So if you're looking to reach us on Monday, we won't be in the office. There are things going on around town, though. The Steam and Gas Engine, they're having their Steam Club Family Day event. That's going to be from 10:30 to 2:30 out in McGregor.
At Coan Park.
Right.
Coming up this month is the Amherstburg's coldest night of the year, and to promote that is the So Cold Social.
That's going to be Friday, February 20th, out at GL Heritage. It was there last year, but I think it was a Thursday last year. They're going to do a Friday this year. It's open to the public. Come on out. It's going to be a great time to kind of, the warm up before the big cold. The coldest night of the year is February 28th. We're very happy and proud to be a sponsor of the coldest night of the year this year in partnership with the House Youth Center. I know you can buy little snowflakes for the House Youth Center. I saw it at Starbucks yesterday, and I think there's some other places around town that you can do that if you're looking to support. And if you're looking to walk, what is the email address, Ron, or the website, I should say, to sign up to be a walker? cnoy.org/Amherstburg. Yeah, we love to see you out. That, like I said, it's the 28th. Everybody meets at the hub, and we go from there. And I think there's going to be a wrap-up party, and it's going to be a really fun night. So we're excited for that and excited to promote the House Youth Center.
Yep, wrap-up party at the Fort Fun Center this year, and again, the house is a great cause, and we have the community event listing in on page 17, pardon me. Usually it's on 13.
Right, big paper this week.
We're at 20-pager this week. So it's community events on 17. We've had a story in our previous issue. That's still online, so make sure you search that on rivertowntimes.com.
They're looking to raise $50,000, right?
They are. They're part of the way there, but I'm sure that they'll appreciate every single dollar they can get as they're trying to keep the House Youth Center the vibrant place that it is. And so make sure you check out the coldest night of the year on February the 28th. Registration at 4, the welcome at 4:45, the walk starts at 5.
Fantastic. All right, anything else, Ron?
I think that's it for me. Just a quick shout out to our drivers, Louise and Ashley. They're going around the community and stocking up our boxes, and our stores around Amherstburg, Essex, Harrow, and LaSalle.
All right, Amherstburg, have a great day.
Have a great day, have a great week, and see you back on the airwaves of 107.9 CKBG The Berg next week at 12 noon and the replay at 4:30 p.m.